When this baby hits 80 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious
Oh, hello. Hello there. Hi, how's it going, everybody? And welcome to another edition of Big Nerd Pub Quiz, the 16th general knowledge pub quiz that we've had in the series so far. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. We're into week number 9 of the lockdown now, and thanks to you guys, the quiz keeps growing and growing. We had 16,000 people tune in and watch the Harry Potter special that took place on Monday. So massive thank you to everyone out there who's been taking part. And we've got even more quizzes on the horizon coming up, so stay tuned to find out more about those. Tonight, as ever, you're going to be tested on a wide range of general knowledge topics over the next hour. If you've played before, then get ready. If not, then here's how you play the Big Nerd Pub Quiz. All right, so welcome to Big Nerd Pub Quiz. If this is your first time, like I said before, there's 2 ways you can play. You can play the good old-fashioned way using pen and paper. Nothing needed to be explained there. But you can also play via the Google form in the link of the YouTube script description below. So if you go to the YouTube page itself, or onto the actual stream, and go into the description, you will see a link to a Google form. Click that, it should be clearly identified. You can play as a team or individually, it's totally up to yourselves at home. Open the Google link, enter your email address, and answer the multiple choice questions as they are asked. There are 8 rounds with 6 questions each. The quiz lasts roughly about an hour, and there's only 1 correct answer per question. Once the quiz is finished, simply hit submit, and you'll get your scores at the very end, but stick about to see where you got your answers right or wrong. At the very end, I'll be reading them out. It's recommended you stream the quiz on a laptop or television and play using the Google form on your phone or another device. Good luck and have some fun. So yes, if you want to keep in touch with Big Nerd Pub Quiz throughout, get a shout out or anything like that, by all means get in touch via all the social media channels there. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Yes, and keep the shout-outs coming in. I've got loads and loads to do this evening. But yes, if you would like a chance to get a shout-out, by all means, get in touch. The best way is actually via the Facebook DM. I will try my best. I know I get inundated with people around the world looking for a wee shout-out, but by all means, I will try my best to give you a shout-out at some point this evening. If not, like I said, it's always get swamped with them. But yes, use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz there and share all your photographs and pics. We've got some of the best Harry Potter cosplayers out there who were sending in their pics to me during the Harry Potter quiz, so I'll be showing them later on. But yes, do share your pics on the Instagram stories and use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz to get those out there. Okay, also don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're up to now 4,750 followers now. I'd like to see it get up to 5 by the end of the week. But don't forget to like and to subscribe. And if you're enjoying the quiz, by all means, do share it with your family and friends. It's a ready-made quiz out there, which is all up on the YouTube channel. You can replay any of the specialist quizzes, any of the episodes we have had up there. You can host the quiz on Zoom with your family or friends at any point. You don't actually have to do them live, but it's kind of a little bit more fun if you do. But anyway, that's all the YouTube stuff. But speaking of specialty quizzes, we had the Harry Potter quiz, and we have a kids quiz every Tuesday at 2. If you want something vaguely educational for your kids to do for an hour, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. there is the kids quiz. And coming up next Monday is the Marvel DC quiz. That is on the 18th of May at 8 p.m. on the Monday. So yes, that's been written by a good friend, Neil Cochran, who's out there. He proposed the quiz. And if you've got any ideas for quizzes yourself, by all means, fire them over via the social medias. And next Wednesday is going to be the Big Nerd 80s quiz. I was going to put it on this Saturday, then I realized I promised you guys a Eurovision special. So we're going to have a couple of rounds of Eurovision trivia thrown into the general knowledge quiz this Saturday. Big quiz for a 10% discount on that. And as well as that, we've got the classic sparkling energy drink, Enerzaid. You can win a trial pack of that. Use the code BigNerdQuiz on their website, enerzaid.co.uk, for a 25% discount. It's really tasty stuff. It's like the old Lucozade of days gone by. And if you've noticed on the social media, you can win this limited edition Harry Potter. Thought it was a little bit of a disconnection there. It came up in the thing. OBS studio connection successful. Okay. But yes, you can enter the Insta via Instagram, Facebook, like and share the page and the tag there with your friends, and tag 3 friends if you want to win this very special edition Harry Potter t-shirt. And you can also buy Big Nerd Pub Quiz merch from the website itself. Do let me know if I'm still going out. I had an error message pop up on my computer there. So I think I still am going out. Anyway, if someone can just give me a quick text, let me know. I wish I had a producer on this sort of stuff. But anyway, enough of all that. Yes, tons and tons of shout-outs to get done tonight, and like I said, lots and lots of stuff going on this evening. We've got 8 rounds coming up, so get ready. Let's get it going. So here we go. Big Nerd Pub Quiz on what date are we on? The 13th, Wednesday the 13th of May, 2020. Here we go. The lockdown continues, but we're still going to have the crack. Here we go. Round 1 is, as always, general knowledge. Well, like I said, general knowledge, more or less current affairs. So here we go. Your general knowledge round 1 is this week, starting off with a very famous Irish rock star celebrated their 60th birthday this week. Who was it? So that's round 1, question 1. Yep, still seeing there and getting an excellent connection on the old YouTube stream. It's just it panics me when I see a message saying, oh, by the way, OBS is disconnecting. And you're like, ugh. Anyway, round 1, question 1. So which famous Irish rock star celebrated their 60th birthday this week? Obviously, it had to have a little bit more subdued celebrations due to the lockdown. He's just like everybody else. But yes, round 1, question 1. Which famous Irish rock star celebrated their 60th birthday this week? Round 1, question 2. A little bit of a general knowledge question this. But who is the current Secretary General of the United Nations? Got 4 options there on your answer sheet on the Google form. But yes, round 1, question 2. Who is the current General Secretary of the United Nations? Round 1, question 3. What was the film that Barack and Michelle Obama saw on their first date? So the year was 1989, and I think Barack Obama wanted to impress Michelle and brought her to the cinema on their very first date. And it was actually made into a kind of one of those cheesy Hallmark movies a couple of years ago. But yes, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine about this, and I asked her this question: do you know which movie that Barack Obama and Michelle Obama went to see on their first date? And she was like, I don't know. How would anyone know that? But I actually thought it was well known. Anyway, but round 1, question 3. So if you don't know, have a guess. But yes, what was the first film that Michelle and Barack Obama saw on their very first date? Round 1, question number 4. A new Blue Peter presenter, Mwaka Mudenda, was revealed today on the show's as the show's 39th presenter. But how long has the show been on the air? I think I should rephrase that actually, because I'm looking for the date. Since when has the show been on the air? So yes, you have a list of 4 years there on the answer sheet. But I'm looking for the year Blue Peter started broadcasting on the BBC. We're up to the 39th presenter. So what year, I'm looking for the year, should have rephrased that, but what year did Blue Peter appear on the British television screens? Round 1, question 5. I'm sure a lot of you would have heard about this already, but which Broadway musical is set to be aired on Disney Plus later this year? It was brought up, it was meant to come out like 15 months later, but they've actually bumped it up to come out pretty soon. And it's going to be on Disney Plus. But which Broadway musical am I talking about? It's round 1, question number 5. The lights of Broadway will stay off for another month or so, another couple of months. But yes, I'm looking for the Broadway musical that's set to go on Disney Plus this year. And your final general knowledge question of the evening. So, I'm sure as many of you have been watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Andrew Townsley, he missed out on the £1 million question the other night. And the question was, which of these iconic races was held first? So what was the answer? Was it A, Le Mans 24-hour, B, the Monaco Grand Prix, C, the Indy 500, or D, the Isle of Man TT? Tricky enough question, but that question was worth £1 million. Now, I actually didn't put up the one he got right for $500,000 because we did the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire special a couple of weeks ago, and we actually copped on that they actually reused a question from about season 1 for the $500,000 one. So, which I thought was amazing because it was like, wait a minute, I know that, and I'm sure you guys would have got it too if you've watched the quiz. But yes, Andrew Townsley could have won the £1 million question the other night, but with this question, which of these iconic races was held first? Le Mans, Monaco, the Indy 500, or the Isle of Man TTs? Which was the right answer there? And your final roundup for this evening for round 1. So we're going over the questions one more time every round. So which famous Irish rock star celebrated their 60th birthday this week? Who's the current General Secretary of the United Nations? 3, the Barack and Michelle Obama saw on their first date. New Blue Peter presenter Mwaka Mudenda was revealed today as the show's 39th presenter. This is when was the show being on the air, so I'm looking for the year. Which Broadway musical was set to be aired on Disney Plus later this year? And the £1 million question from the other night, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? The question, which of these iconic races was held first? Monaco, Indy, Isle of Man, or what was the other one? Monaco, Indy, Le Mans, or the Isle of Man? Yes, there we go. So there you are. That's your roundup for of general knowledge quizzes. Straight on to the next one. As you can see there, round 2 is going to be movies. So round 2 is going to be 6 questions all about films. Now there's a very, 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 very slim connection between all these movies. Not to give too much away, but each of these, you'll be reading these questions and you'll be wondering what the theme is. But there is one, believe it or not. Each of these questions has a very, like I said before, a very, very, very subtle theme. And you'll probably work it out at the end, okay? It's very, very simple. It's very, very obvious. But anyway, firing on. So round 2, your movie round tonight, question number 1. So, round 2, question 1. Which 2010 film starring Leonardo DiCaprio as a professional thief who steals information by Infiltrating the Subconscious. Directed by Christopher Nolan. For round 2, question 1. Which 2010 film starring Leonardo DiCaprio has him starring as a professional thief who steals information by infiltrating the subconscious? Really trippy movie, that. Round 2, question 2. Ellen Page plays the title character in which 2007 coming-of-age comedy about a teenager dealing with an unplanned pregnancy. So I'm looking for the name of that film. So you probably guessed right now, all these are to do with movie titles. But what's the common element there? But round 2, question 2. Ellen Page plays the title character in which 2007 coming-of-age comedy about a teenager dealing with an unplanned pregnancy. Round 2, question number 3. Which 2017 film was the 10th X-Men feature and starred Hugh Jackman as its title character? So I'm looking for the name of the 10th X-Men film. X-Men. God. So yes, I think it was his last outing as probably one of the most iconic screen heroes. But yes, the 10th X-Men film starred Hugh Jackman as the title character. That's round 2, question 3. Round 2, question number 4. Which 1958 Alfred Hitchcock film stars James Stewart as a former police detective struggling with his demons? It's a fantastic opening score by Bernard Herrmann, and Saul Bass did the very trippy title sequence to it. But yes, the 1958 Alfred Hitchcock film, absolute classic, with James Stewart as a former police detective struggling with his demons. Round 2, question number 5. What was the name of the first Kevin Smith feature that established the characters of Jay and Silent Bob? So round 2, question 5. This was Kevin Smith's first film, and it established what was known as the View Askew universe. So all the movies that he made are actually weirdly connected, thematically or, plot-wise. So yes, there's like one movie he created, and then another movie he made a couple of years later, which actually technically happens the next day. And it was an animated series, but I'm looking for the name of the first Kevin Smith feature that established the characters of Jay and Silent Bob. And finally, round 2, question 6. I always seem to get a Bond question in every week, but the 11th official James Bond film. I need the name of the 11th official James Bond film starring Roger Moore in an adventure that was literally out of this world. So which Bond movie am I talking about there? So as you can see, all the films I've spoken about, just about the movie titles. So round 2, question 6. The name of the 11th official James Bond film starring Roger Moore in an adventure that was literally out of this world. And there's your movie roundup for tonight. So which 2010 film starring Leonardo DiCaprio as a professional thief who steals information by infiltrating the subconscious? Number 2. Ellen Page plays the title character in which 2007 coming-of-age comedy about a teenager dealing with an unplanned pregnancy? Number 3. Which 2017 film was the 10th X-Men movie starring Hugh Jackman as its title character? Number 4. Which 1958 Alfred Hitchcock film stars Jimmy Stewart as a former police detective struggling with his demons? What was the name of the first Kevin Smith feature that established the characters of Jay and Silent Bob? And what was the 11th James Bond film with Roger Moore that was literally out of this world? Okay, we've come to the end of the movie round. Just quick couple of shout outs before we keep moving on. We've got in Halifax, Nova Scotia, as always, Sadie is playing with Grant, Dan, Derek, and Jeff. Good to see you guys again. Jonathan wants a very special shout out. Happy birthday to Patrick Gleason from Carrickfergus, from Shirley, George, Jonathan, Rachel, Keith, and Bonita. Happy birthday to you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And Carol wants to say hello to the hen party playing in Aberworth, Falkirk, and Roslin, all the way up in Scotland. Hope you're having fun, ladies. Okay, so yes, this is Big Nerd Pub Quiz. If you want to shout out at any point, don't be afraid to get in touch via the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. I'll try my very best to get all the shout outs I can done today. But yes, thank you very much for tuning in this evening. Moving on to, oh yes, and I actually have to say, big thank you to everyone who played the Harry Potter quiz on Monday. It was absolutely amazing, and I have to say it was incredible seeing all your pictures. There's just a couple of the best ones I found. The guys who actually cosplayed and really took part in the quiz. I have to say it was absolutely amazing, and I think it was yeah, the fact that it was something like, it was possibly the most played quiz I've done so far. I think nearly 2,000 people played it on the night, and over 16k hits on YouTube. Is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for everyone for taking part in that, and big thanks to Steph and Becca for helping me write it. Like, Steph did the bulk of the writing, and Becca did the editing and reviewing there. But yes, thanks again. And we've got like tons and tons of specialty quizzes coming up, so do stay tuned, and I'll be telling you all about those later. But anyway, firing on with Big Nerd Pub Quiz, here is your next round of the evening, and it is music. Now, obviously, due to very stringent YouTube copyright laws, I'm not actually allowed to play any official tunes. The lovely music you're hearing in the background is lovely and royalty-free stuff that I've found, but I've actually signed up to a new subscription service, so I should be able to play better music. Well, not better music, I don't mind this sort of thing, but I'm going to be playing some nice royalty-free music over the next couple of weeks on the channel. But yes, round 3, I'm going to be showing you lyrics of 6 very famous songs. All you have to do is guess the song, and you'll probably be able to work out the artist based on on the list of songs that you'll see below you. So here you go. Here's your first one of this evening. Round 3, question number 1. Got in a little hometown jam, so they put a rifle in my hand. So round 3, question number 1. So that's got in a little hometown jam, so they put a rifle in my hand. So yeah, thanks to Haley actually, and my dad actually, who said that the podcast or the live stream's coming across fine. It's actually quite blurry. I don't know what the heck's going on with this camera. Hopefully it'll be able to sort itself out. But anyway, round 3, question number 1. Got in a little hometown jam, so they put a rifle in my hand. Round 3, question number 2. I'm just a poor boy, and my story's seldom told. So round 3, question 2. It's the opening lines of a very, very famous song. But yes, I am just a poor boy, though my story's seldom told. That's your second lyric question of this evening. Moving on, round 3, question number 3. Don't want to hear about it. Everyone's got a story to tell. Everybody knows about it, from the Queen of England to the Hounds of Hell. Doesn't sound as dramatic when I say it, but rather anthemic tune from a duet all the way in Detroit. Got to see them in 2005, which was amazing. Anyway, round 3, question 3. Don't want to hear about it. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everybody knows about it, from the Queen of England to the Hounds of Hell. Round 3, question 4. Guess who's just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys had been away. So round 3, question number 4. A little bit closer to home, this one. Yes, the ace with the bass. What's the song? Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys that had been away. Again, the opening lyrics of an iconic tune. Round 3, question number 5. I met her on Grafton Street right outside of the bar. She shared a cigarette with me while her brother played the guitar. Yes, this guy isn't from Dublin, nor is he Irish. But yes, a very popular song all the same. Sure, you'll all get it. But yeah, I met her on Grafton Street right outside of the bar. She shared a cigarette with me while her brother played the guitar. Now, there's actually only 2 bars. 3 on Grafton Street. Captain America's is right on Grafton Street, so he wouldn't be outside that one. Possibly Bruxelles. And it has a statue of a very famous Irish rock star there. Definitely not the nightclub at the very bottom of the street. What's that one called again? Anyway, but definitely not that one. He mightn't have been at that one. Met her on Grafton Street right outside of the bar. So probably Bruxelles, you know. Trying to work that one out. Anyway, round 3, question number 6, final one of this evening. All you have to do is guess the song. Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. So the opening lines of another very iconic song from 1970, released on the Motown label. That should give you a clue who it is. You should be able to definitely work that out from the list there. But yes, mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. One of the best albums of the 20th century, in my opinion there. But anyway, that's your lyrics round of the evening wrapped up. We'll go through them one more time. So here's round 3, question number 1. Got in a little hometown jam, so they put a rifle in my hand. Number 2, I'm just a poor boy, though my story's seldom told. Number 3, don't want to hear about it. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everybody knows about it, from the Queen of England to the Hounds of Hell. Number 4, just guess who just got back today? Them well-out boys that had been away. Number 5, I met her on Grafton Street right outside of the bar. She shared a cigarette with me while her brother played guitar. And finally, mother, mother, there's far too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. Yep, I couldn't make them sound more uncool if I tried. But anyway, so thanks very much. That is your lyrics round done for the evening. I'm going to fire straight on to round number 4. And that should bring us right up to the halfway point of the quiz. Do some more shout-outs straight after that. But anyway, round 4 is history. So yes, like many of the history rounds that I do during the week, these are all events which are happened on this day or on round about this time X amount of years ago. So yes, here we go. Round 4, question number 1, your first of the evening. So yes, what was the name of the square in Beijing where a series of protests began on this day in 1989? It's 31 years ago now. Keep on thinking the 80s were only like 20 years ago or something, but no, they're not. 31 years ago. The name of the square in Beijing where a series of protests began on this day in 1989. Round 4, question number 2. Which pope survived an assassination attempt in the Vatican City on this day in 1981? So yes, which pope survived an assassination attempt in the Vatican City on this day in 1981? He famously survived the incident and went on to forgive his assailant. And I think he actually got released, the guy who actually did it. And it was a Turkish chap. But yes, which pope survived an assassination attempt in the Vatican City on this day in 1981? Round 4, question number 3. Who said the famous words on this day in 1940? I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. So, final, amazing, very, very stirring speech. But who said the words on this day in a speech in 1940? I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. It's round 4, question number 3. Round 4, question 4. In which country did the apparition at Fatima take place on this day in 1917? So yes. In which country did the apparition at Fatima take place on this day in 1917? Round 4, question number 5. In 1820, where was the famous nurse Florence Nightingale born? So yes, born in this week in 1820, where was the famous nurse Florence Nightingale born? It's round 4, question 5. And round 4, question 6. What was the name of the American-built space station that was launched on this week in 1973? So I'm looking for the name of the American-built space station that was launched during this week in 1973. And that's your final history question of the day. So yes, looking for the name of the square in Beijing where a series of protests began on this day in 1889. Which pope survived an assassination attempt at Vatican City on this day in 1981? Who said the famous words in a speech on this day in 1940, "Have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears and sweat"? Number 4, in which country did the apparition at Fatima take place on this day in 1917? Born on this week in 1820, where was the famous nurse Florence Nightingale born? And what was the name of the American-built space station that was launched during this week in 1973? Well, that's brought us up to the halfway point of the quiz. The time now just gone up to 8:30 this Wednesday evening. Thanks very much for joining me. Well, here we go. We've got some more shout-outs to go. Aaron basically said he wants a shout-out to his mother and father-in-law, Helen and Tony in Weston-super-Mare, and they're playing against him and his wife, Sharner. So, yes, good to hear from you guys. Marianne wants a shout-out to Shelley in Norway and Nonny in Germany. So yes, Marianne is all the way in Dublin and she wants a shout out to those guys. Mamta and Milan are watching in Manchester as always, and a big apologies I didn't get a chance to give a shout out to your nephews and nieces there at the Harry Potter quiz. I'm sure they really did enjoy it though. I'm really glad they did tune in. And also a big shout out to the London crew, the Wolverhampton lot, they know who they are. Liam and Alice, and they're somewhere in Liam, Alice and Violet, and they're somewhere near Portsmouth, isn't it? And George and Mark, who got a return date from their self-imposed exile in America, so they'll be coming back home soon. But anyway, a couple of quick ads to do check out this series of podcasts. We've got Stuck in Here With You, that's my buddy Jez and Mary, and they're doing a podcast based on their experience of lockdown in London, and that's on Spotify, Podbean and Apple Podcasts. Also check out Hot Topic Nightmare, my buddy Paul, who's actually volunteered to write a Pokemon quiz for me at some point. So I think we should do a full-on Pokemon quiz for all you Pokemon heads out there. Fright Club have got a Cronenberg watch-along coming up this weekend. Check out their website and their Twitter page, the Fright Club NI, for more details on that. And Banterflex, the podcasts, the Northern Ireland reviews and film podcasts and TV show on MVTV TV, locally going out in Belfast. Teresa Ray's helping me write a Disney quiz. So yes, do stay tuned and do follow all the social media channels for that, and let me know when you'd want that to happen, because I'm trying to play around with dates at some point. But yes, Teresa Ray is writing a Disney quiz for me as we speak. Also, check out this podcast. It's Transatlantic Crime. It's a podcast made by my friend Talissa over in, isn't it Bristol? Is that where you are at the moment? But yes, it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's a true crime podcast, basically about all crimes taking place between America and the UK. But you do check that out and do give it good reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't forget to also check out even more podcasts. The Nerd Party. You're not stuck for stuff to listen to. That's the Nerd Party. That's my buddy Lee's part of his collaboration there. He does a Star Trek one. But do check all those other ones out there as well. And don't forget, you can win this snazzy t-shirt tonight if you come up with a top score. Last winner of the last quiz was Patience Saunders. Well done, Patience Saunders. We'll be getting in touch with you about getting your 6-pack of Enerzaid and your Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirt. Don't forget, if you want to win this Harry Potter style Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirt, go on to the Instagram page and like and share the post and page with 3 friends, and you'll be in for a chance to win that one as well. And check out all the other merch you can get from Northern Ireland Tees, our sponsors who've been awful good to us and been supplying us all with our sweet, sweet merch. And don't forget, you can support the quiz. Like I said before, the quiz is always free to play. However, if you can support the work that goes into making it, you can make a donation to the PayPal there and the Patreon. If everyone can donate as little as £1, it makes it so much worth it to do it. Absolutely, thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting the quiz over the last couple of weeks. I couldn't have done it without you, and it's an absolute pleasure to do it. But yes, and I have to say thank you to all the supporters out there who've been making this So worthwhile for me to do. I absolutely love this. It's the first thing I think of and the last thing I think of when I go to bed, when I get up in the morning and everything. But yes, like I said before, do get in touch, use the hashtags and everything like that, and get in touch with all the other social media bits and bobs there. Anyway, firing on, and as always, the fifth round of Big Nerd Pub Quiz is a sports round. Yes, we're firing away here and firing through the quiz. This next sports round is kind of a bit of a history one as well. This requires you to know your famous dates in sporting history. So I'm going to show you 6 sporting events. All you have to do is put them in order of which they took place, starting with the earliest and finishing with the latest. So here we go. All from the 2000s, the first decade of the 20th century. I've muddled them up there, but I want you to place these sporting events in the order in which they happened. So yes, England winning the Rugby World Cup for the first time. Roy Keane leaving the Ireland team in Saipan. Manchester United winning their 3rd European Cup. The Aviva Stadium opening its doors. England regaining the Ashes for the first time since 1987 against Australia. And the Beijing Olympics taking place. So when did these all happen? So I'll give you some time. I'm going to keep these up on screen for about a minute or two. Let you work them out. If you think that England winning the Rugby World Cup was the first event, put that at number 1. If you think Manchester United winning the 3rd European Cup is number 2, you put that at number 2 and work your way down. So that's simple. That's how you answer these questions. So yes, if you think England winning the Rugby World Cup is number 1, you put it at number 1. If you think the Aviva Stadium opening was number 2, put that at number 2. So that's how it goes. So Johnny Wilkinson there scoring the very famous drop goal against Australia. And who can forget that Manchester United win in 2000 and can't give that one away. Nearly give it away there. But who can forget that Manchester United win against Chelsea? John Terry missing the penalty at the very end. Ronaldo missed his too. The Aviva Stadium officially opening. And actually, I was actually at that. And they had a test. They had a short test game against, it was like a combined Leinster-Ulster team versus a Munster Connacht team. And the Leinster-Ulster boys completely mopped the floor with the Connacht fellas, the Connacht-Munster fellas. They didn't even score a try. But yeah, it was amazing that day. We went to a good couple of games there when it first opened. It's a fantastic world-class stadium. Who could forget the England team winning the Ashes? Freddie Flintoff and the very boozy reception that they had at number 10 afterwards. But what year did that happen? And the Beijing Olympics with its famous opening ceremony. And Roy Keane walking away from that World Cup. I was doing my GCSEs at the time. Couldn't watch any of it. Yeah, I was on at a really silly time. But I'll put this up for a couple more seconds. We'll keep this up. So, England winning the Rugby World Cup. Roy Keane leaving the Ireland team in Saipan. Manchester United winning their 3rd European Cup. The Aviva Stadium opening. England regaining the Ashes for the first time since 1987. And the Beijing Olympics taking place. So when did those all happen? If you can work out the years, then it'll all fall into place. Anyway, so that was your sports round. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's see if I can do some more shoutouts while I can. My phone is getting absolutely inundated here. We've got Denise is playing in Dublin with her ma. So hello to you. Teresa Ray, obviously from Banterflex, writing the Disney quiz. Nicole from Graz in Austria. And she's actually saying to me that this is going to be our last quiz because they're reopening the pub near where she lives in Austria. So yeah, no more nightly quizzes for yourself. You're just going to spend it in the pub. So fair play to you. Anyway, thank you so much for playing all the same. The Morley household is playing with husband Gareth and Zachary versus Cara Jane, and they're all playing in Biggleswade in somewhere in England, wherever that is. Anyway, so that's all the shout outs done for now. I'll keep checking my phone over the next while and we'll see how we get on and see if I can get some more shout outs done throughout the night. Like I said, use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz to get in touch. Anyway, here we go. Here's our next round of the evening. Round 6 should be a fun one, and it is children's literature. So yes, as we all know, the Harry Potter round was very, very, very special. Lots of you really enjoyed that. So I kind of thought I'd keep the theme going with Children's Lit as our arts and literature round this week. So here we go, round 6. Here's your first question. So, out of the 5 children who entered Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, who was the third child to leave? Out of the original 5 golden ticket winners. You can see them there. Very identifiable. But yes, they all went out in various different ways. One went up chocolate fountain. One got turned into a TV. One got shrunk. But yes, very iconic film scenes there. But who was the third child to leave the chocolate factory out of the original 5 golden ticket winners? Round 6, question 2. I thought we'd stick with the Harry Potter one, but what year was the first Harry Potter book published? That's a question we didn't ask at the Harry Potter quiz on Monday. And don't forget, you can go back to the YouTube channel and play the Harry Potter quiz at any point if you want to challenge yourself to that. It's really tricky. Got a few people did get full marks. But yes, round 6, question number 2. What year was the first Harry Potter book published? Round 6, question 3. I forgot to take away that picture. That's not who we're talking about. So round 6, question 3. Which children's book features a family of tiny people who secretly live in the walls and floors of an English house? So that's round 6, question 3. Which children's book features a family of tiny people who live secretly in the walls and floors of an English house? But yes, classic. And also made into a movie at one point. I think it was a movie or TV series. Round 6, question 4. Which children's author wrote the book Warhorse? It was turned into a stage adaptation by the National Theatre in 2007. And of course, a feature film in 2012. Directed by Steven Spielberg. But I'm looking at the name of the author of the book Warhorse. Children's author. Very famous adaptation there. Actually, I'm acquainted to one of the puppeteers. That was my sister, actually. Weird. But there you go. Round 6, question 4. Round 6, question 5. Bernard Cribbins played Mr. Perks in the 1970 film adaptation of which beloved children's book written in 1906? 4 options there. This is an absolute classic. Bernard Cribbins still knocking about. Still acting. He appears a lot in the Doctor Who series. But yes, he played Mr. Perks in the 1970 film adaptation of which beloved children's book written in 1906? It's question 5. Moving on to your final one. So who could forget the weird, terrible, well, I think it's kind of charming, but the kind of baffling Cockney accent done by Dick Van Dyke there. But name the Anglo-Australian author of the Mary Poppins books. Her life story was told in the Disney film Saving Mr. Banks. It's round 6, question 6. The name of the Anglo-Australian author of the Mary Poppins books. Her life was told in the Disney film Saving Mr. Banks. And there's your children's literature roundup for this evening. We'll go through them one more time. So who was the third child to leave the chocolate factory out of the original 5 golden ticket winners? Number 2. What year was the first Harry Potter book published? 3. Which children's book features a family of tiny people who live secretly in the walls and floors of an English house? 4. Which children's author wrote the book Warhorse? 5. Bernard Cribbins played Mr. Perks in the 1970 film adaptation of which beloved children's book? And finally, the name of the Anglo-Australian author of Mary Poppins books. Her real-life story was told in the Disney film Saving Mr. Banks. Now, that kind of segues really nicely into my next round, because when I was writing this quiz the other night, I was thinking, right, okay, you got down to the very end and saw, Mary Poppins, and that film is quite synonymous with awful Cockney accents. So it got me thinking, our next round tonight is going to be about, wait for it, Cockney rhyming slang. So yes, the next 6 questions are all going to be related to Cockney rhyming slang. All I'm going to do is show you 6 common Cockney rhyming slang phrases, and you've got to guess what they mean. Okay, so here we go. Round 7, question number 1. So I'm sure you'll all get this one. This is probably one of the most famous ones. So round 7, question 1, apples and pears. Yes, the actor Alan Ford, who is your go-to guy if you just want a hard nut Cockney gangster. Round 7, question number 1, apples and pears. I am not going to attempt to do any Cockney accent tonight. I promise you that. Round 7, question 2, porky pies. Bob Hoskins there in the film The Long Good Friday. Absolute classic gangster movie. It's round 7, question 2, porky pies. Don't worry if you don't know what it is. You've got 4 options there in front of you in the Google Doc. Try to have a punt at it. Round 7, question 3, whistle and flute. What could that mean? Danny Dyer there. Had to put him in. Danny Dyer's tweets are amazing, by the way. You can follow him on Twitter. Like, some of the stuff he comes out with is absolutely amazing. But yes. Now, a regular on EastEnders, related to Edward II, I think it was. But round 7, question 3, whistle and flute. Round 7, question 4, Dickie Bird. Members of the very famous 1980 West Ham team won the FA Cup. The last time West Ham has won anything. I was meant to have a big celebration this year about West Ham winning that particular trophy, but now the football season's off, like, so. Oh well, Trevor Brooking there. Round 7, question 4, Dickie Bird. What on earth could that mean? Round 7, question 5, boat race. So when a Cockney refers to your boat race or his or her boat race, what are they referring to? It's round 7, question number 5. And finally, round 7, question 6, another EastEnder duo there. Brown bread. When someone says someone is brown bread, what does that mean? So round 7, question number 6, brown bread. And there's your Cockney rhyming slang roundup there. Apples and pears, porky pies, whistle and flute, Dickie Bird, boat race, and brown bread. Now, like I said, I researched every one of those, so hopefully they all match up. And like I said, like, you know, that's what they generally mean, and that's what a lot of Londoners or East Londoners will tell you. That's what those Cockney rhyming slang terms mean. So before we move on to the very last round, hopefully get a chance to do some more shout outs here. Oh, my phone's just exploded, as it always does. We've got Louise Legg, who is playing in Gloucester. Shout out from Lou and Ben and Jason in Woking. Good to hear from you guys. We've got another shout out here. Happy 40th birthday, Patrick from Bonita and Keith, who are playing along tonight. Greg Clark says, loving your work. Big shout out to Amanda Holland, who got 48 out of 48 in the Harry Potter quiz. Love from Goodbye James. Thank you very much, man. Thanks very much. Vicky Locke says, yes, it's still showing. It's buffering for a bit. She's just telling me how it's getting on. And Stephen McCloskey says, if you see this, please give a big shout out to Sophie McCann in Larne, the wonderful blue goddess. Well, thanks very much, guys, for playing. Okay, next round we're going to play this evening. And our final round of this evening, it's a picture round, and it's going to be on the topic of geography. And as you can see there, it's very simply name the country. Now, I have to dedicate this round to Declan Quinn, who texted me last night and actually gave me this idea. And he said to me, like, it was one of those things. I was up writing the quiz and I get this text, very fortuitously get this text saying, why don't you do a round where you show silhouettes of countries and you have to guess what they are? And I thought, Declan, that's a great idea. So I'm going to do that. So yes, if you have any suggestions for any rounds or any types of quizzes, I'm getting absolutely inundated with them. So yes, let me know via the Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any ideas, yes, we've got a friend's quiz coming up at some point. Hopefully I get so many requests for Lord of the Rings, Father Ted. We've got a football quiz, which has been written by my buddy Tom. The horror quiz at some point. It's just a matter of finding out when to do them. But I'm going to put up on Facebook whether or not you want the Wednesday one to be a specialist one as well. I try to keep it as general knowledge as I can. But if you want more specialty quizzes, I'll do one general knowledge quiz on the Saturday night and make Wednesday a specialty one as well. But yes, that's it. Moving on to our final round this evening. So name the country, okay? So here we go. Round 8, question number 1. Nice easy one to start off with. I think many of you been here on your holidays. But name that country. Round 8, question number 1. Ease you into this one. Should be quite simple enough. So round 8, question 1. Should definitely get that one. Round 8, question number 2. Substantially larger country this time. But yes, what country is that? It's round 8, question 2. Don't worry, if I'm going too fast, I will go back through them again. At the very end of the round, you will see these for at least 10 seconds each, 15 seconds each. So that's round 8, question 2. Which country could that be? Round 8, question 3. Another slightly larger country than that, but anyway, which country is that? Round 8, question number 3. Options there on your Google Sheet. If you don't know, always have a guess. And slightly trickier now. Round 8, question number 4. Which country is this, and why does it have such a peculiar border? It's round 8, question 4. If you've got one of those giant maps from IKEA, I know my mate Phil does. If you just love staring at maps, maybe these are just really super easy for you. Maybe they just jump out. But round 8, question number 4. Where is that? Round 8, question 5. Where could this be? What's that big black bit in the middle? Could be a lake. Could be another country. But I'm looking for the name of this particular country in white. So round 8, question 5. And I'm going to hold on just before you hit the next question. Before I show you the next one. You will get your score immediately. But stick about. You're going to get the answers straight after the quiz. Okay? So don't worry. We will be giving out the answers to you straight after the quiz. So here we go. Here's your final question of this Wednesday night Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Here we go. Round 8, question 6. Where is that? Thought I'd leave the trickiest one to the end. Sure, what would it be if you didn't get a chance to scratch your head at any point? But yes, that's round 8, question number 6. Let's fly through those one more time. Starting from the top. There's your first one. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. And sixth. So yes, that's it. That's your Big Nerd Pub Quiz for this Wednesday evening. Thank you so much for playing tonight. I've got tons and tons of shout-outs, which I'm going to do right now before we go on to the answers. I've just checked the ones I normally don't get a chance to check, but like Instagram. Can you shout out for me for Sally Davis and Mario Davies? That's from Long Pete. Thanks very much, Long Pete. Thank you very much for tuning in. We've got Hayley Holland, who's playing tonight. Thanks very much for letting me know how that's gone. Rye Komisky, obviously, will be playing as well. We've got, let's see, Ruth Forbes. She says that she wants a little shout out for Ruth, Saz, Alex, Tony Lee in Glengormley, Leeds and Dromore in County Down and Edinburgh. Loving your quizzes. They really bring us together. Well, thank you very much. I love doing these too. Absolute pleasure. I really, really enjoy doing them. And like I said, if you've any suggestions, if you any want more, any shout outs, just checking the old Twitter here. Lee's playing tonight. Lee Hutchinson's playing tonight all the way over in Edinburgh, and Gina Flavel is playing. So yes, I managed to check all the social media channels. Normally I only get a chance to check Facebook, but thanks very much for playing, guys. Don't forget, if you want to support the quiz, you can do that via the Patreon. So yes, every little helps. It's like I said, this has become a full-time job for me over the last couple of weeks. But yes, Big Nerd Pub Quiz, it'll always be free to play, but you can support what goes in by donating as little as £1 to the PayPal or the Patreon. And that's the links there for that. So, with bated breath, we release the answers for tonight. Let me know how you got on. Use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz. Here we go. So, round 1. Bono is celebrating his 60th birthday this week. Antonio Guterres is the Secretary General of the United Nations. Do the Right Thing was the Spike Lee movie that Michelle and Barack Obama went to see on their first date. 1958 was the first year that Blue Peter came on the screen. Hamilton is the musical that they're going to be showing on Disney+. And the £1 million question the other night was the Isle of Man TT. So, the link between all these movies, that all the movie titles were one-word movie titles. That was it. That was the most... I didn't want to give it away so early so you'd all get them. But the movies I mentioned there, Inception, Juno, Logan, Vertigo, Clerks, and Moonraker, all one-word titles. So, yes... that was your movie roundup there. The lyrics round: Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen, The Boxer by Simon and Garfunkel, Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy, Galway Girl, Ed Sheeran, and What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, title of the album and the tune as well. Tiananmen Square is where the protests began on this day in 1989. John Paul II was the Pope that had survived the assassination in 1981. Winston Churchill gave that speech to the House of Commons in 1940 on this very day. Portugal was the country where the apparition of Fatima happened. Italy is where Florence Nightingale was born. And yes, her name is Florence because she was born in Florence. So yeah, that could have thrown a couple of people. But yes, it was a very obvious clue there. The answer's in her name. And Skylab was the name of the space station sent up by the Americans. Your sport round. So how did you get on with this one? So Roy Keane, and that incident was Saipan, Japan at South Korea 2002. England won the Rugby World Cup in 2003. England regained the Ashes in 2005. Man United won the European Cup. Now this is a bit tricky. It happened in May 2008, and the Beijing Olympics took place in 2008 in August of that year. And the Aviva Stadium in Dublin finally opened in 2010 after being closed for quite some time to be redeveloped from Lansdowne Road. Veruca Salt was the third kid to get ejected from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. 1997 saw the debut of Harry Potter. The Borrowers were the book about the people living in the walls of the house. Michael Morpurgo wrote War Horse. The Railway Children starred Bernard Cribbins, and P.L. Travers was the writer of Mary Poppins. Your Cockney rhyming slime. So, Apples and Pears with Stairs, Porcupines Lies, Whistle and Flute, Suit, Dicky Bird Word, Boat Race Face, and Brown Bread Dead. And your round 8 geography ones. Thanks for Declan for recommending this. But Spain, Brazil, Russia, Morocco, South Africa, and Monaco. So if you want to see those again very quickly, that was Spain, Brazil, Russia, Morocco, South Africa, and Monaco. So yes, thank you very much for playing Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Yes, we're here every week, 4 times a week now, with a specialty quiz going out every Monday, kids quiz now on every Tuesday at 2 p.m, and the general knowledge quiz happening on the Wednesday and the Saturday. But yes, if you think you like, because I'm getting so many requests for people to do specialty quizzes, if you feel that I could bump the general knowledge quiz and just have one general knowledge quiz a week and squeeze in more specialty quizzes, because it is just a matter of time at this stage, trying to get them all in. I'm getting so many suggestions and so many requests. But yes, if you feel that's a good idea, let me know in the comments, or let me know in any of the social medias there. You know at this stage how to get in touch with me. Don't forget, this next week is the Marvel DC quiz for all you comic book nuts out there. That's on the 18th of May. And the 80s quiz, that's going to be next week. I'm going to do the Big Nerd 80s quiz. It's a general knowledge quiz, but it's going to be all about the 80s. It was meant to be this Saturday, but like I said, this Saturday's quiz is all going to be a little Eurovision themed. Not all of it, but there's going to be quite a fair few Eurovision questions in there, given that Eurovision was meant to happen this weekend. And I know all my buddies, we all love playing it and watching it. We're so sad it's not on this year, like everything else. But yes, so that's on this Saturday. Thank you for playing tonight. Don't forget about the Patreon and the PayPal links. Every little helps, and I'm really, really thankful to everyone who's been supporting me and the quiz over the last couple of weeks. It's just getting bigger and better, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much. Big sincere thank you from me. Next quiz, like I said, is on this Saturday, the 16th of May at 8 p.m. And don't forget, 80s quiz on the 20th, Marvel DC quiz on the 18th, kids quiz every Tuesday, and there's all the links. You can get in touch with me there. Have the great rest of your week. Stay safe, and I hope to see you soon. Yes, we are going to do Father Ted's and quizzes and friends quizzes and all that. But yes, thank you for all your suggestions. Do stay in touch, and I'll see you again soon. I've been Mark Hughes, and have a very good evening. Good night.